So this section is about the horizontal translation. So horizontal translations. And this is for quadratic as well. So again, this is 11.2. Okay. So again, we start with the same equation that we had before. That's the y equal to x squared, and we're just going to assume a is 1. And this time we are going to have the parabola move to the right, or we're going to have it move to the left. And so if we do y2, to do that we would have parentheses x, let's say, plus 3 squared, instead of just being x squared plus 3, which would move it up 3 units. This is inside parentheses. So what kind of effect do we have? Does it move it to the right or moves it to the left? So let's take a look on our calculator to see how that performs. So I'm going to go to y equals, keep the first equation, right, and clear the other two. So now I'm going to put parentheses in first, and then x plus the 3, and then put it to the power of 2. Okay, and see what that does. So we get the original equation, and then here's what happens. It actually is moving the parabola to the left 3 units. So the plus 3 inside the parentheses moves the parabola to the left. Goes in this direction. Kind of the opposite of what most students think it is. And the reason why is, remember, when we're looking at the graph, we are looking at sometimes the lowest part of the graph. So let's say right here at the bottom, where the y value is 0. So in that case, if you think about it, it's basically at that point that's 0. So if we go to second and table, we see that at -3 we get 0 for that particular point, where before it would just be 0, 0. So 0 would occur at 0. So in essence, you basically are taking the x plus the 3 and setting it to 0. And if you solve this algebraically, you see why it is shifting to the right 3 units. It's because this is -3 that's causing it to go to 0. So if we do another one like y3, and that's x, and let's say it's minus, -5, stands to reason that since last time this was +3, that -3 or -5, if we set that to 0, we would get x equal to 5. So it looks like it would go to the right 5 units. So if we graph that, we go to y equals, go to y3, we do parentheses x minus 5 to the power of 2, and hit graph. We see that it does move to the right 5 units. So there's 5 units that it moves. So again, when we're looking at this part right here, the -5 in the inside the parentheses, it moves the parabola to the right. So it goes this way 5 units. And so that's the thing that we look at. So for general purposes, y would equal the x plus the h squared, or the y would equal x minus the h squared, where h, if it's positive, moves everything to the left h units, and the negative h moves it to the right negative h units. Or we could just say h units. And so that's the rationality of what's going on with these quadratic equations.